This conference will now be recorded.
Let me go and open the yesterday's class notepad. The yesterday's class we start discussing about what? We start discussing about the galleries. So let me go and open the class notes. Fine. Now here guys, in the yesterday's class we start discussing about the galleries. Now what we discussed in yesterday's class is we know that what is meant by galleries. We know that what is meant by a gallery. Also we know that when to go and use the galleries. What is the use of galleries in Power Apps? We discussed in yesterday's class. And also we discussed what are the different types of galleries are available in the Power Apps. Today there are 6 types of galleries are available. And also we understand what are the properties, what are the different properties we are having for the gallery control. We discussed up to here in yesterday's class. And now today's class 2. Let me go and keep here. Today is class 2. Now try to understand what we are going to discuss now in today's session is we'll discuss how to connect the gallery to the forms. We'll discuss now in today's session connect the gallery to forms. How to connect the galleries to the forms we'll discuss now in today's session guys. So in order to go and work with it and in order to go and understand how to go and connect the gallery to the forms, first of all I need to go and create one list in the SharePoint. So what is the list I want to create here is, let me do one thing. Let me go and copy something here. Let me copy from here. Just copy it and then paste it here. Now try to understand guys. In order to go and work with it, how to connect the galleries to the forms. First of all, I want to create a list in the SharePoint. So I'm going to create one list now. Already the list is created. The list name is employees is the list. The list name is employees is the list. In this list, these are the columns I'm having. So what are the different columns is there means employee ID column, employee name column, mobile number, email, what is the position, what is the role of that employee, on which date the employee is joined, hire date, salary, who is the manager, manager name, under which project the employee is working, project name, what is the date of birth, and then address of that employee. These are the columns I'm going to keep in that SharePoint list, and these are the data type of those columns. So let me go and open that SharePoint list and let me show you what's the table I created there. Let me go and open the SharePoint first. Let me go and open the make.powerapps.com. From here, let me show you how to go and open the SharePoint. Let me go and open the SharePoint from here. Go to the app launcher and click on SharePoint. Now in the SharePoint, I'm having a site. I created one new site to work with the galleries. The site name is Gallery. I created one new site in the SharePoint to work with the galleries. The site name is Gallery. Go to the site called Galleries. Now in this site, I'm having one list, guys. If you see, I'm having one list here. The list name is what? Employees is the list. Now go to the list called employees. Select the list. And these are the columns I'm having in that list. What is the employee number, name, mobile number, email, position, hire date, salary, salary column, manager name column, under which project the employee is working, date of birth, and address. These are the columns I'm having in this field. And this is the list name. Now, if you want to see the list schema, go to the list settings. In the list settings, you are able to see the columns. These are the columns, and these are the data type of those columns I'm having here. There is one column, required column, that is mandatory column. Employee number is the mandatory column, and these are the column names. These are the data types. So already I'm having one list here, guys. Let me go to the list now. So now what is my requirement here is I want to enter some data into this list. Now, how I'm going to enter the data into this list is I want to enter the data from Power Apps. In the Power Apps, I need to go and create one form. Through that form, I want to enter the data into this SharePoint list. Now, let me show you how to go and create one form in the SharePoint in the Power Apps, and then let me show you how to submit the data, and then let me show you how to connect the forms with the galleries. Now, let me go to the Power Apps, and let me go and open the app. First day we created an app, right? That is gallery. Let me go and open the same app now. Let me go and edit. Let me open the same app. Fine. This is the gallery we created in yesterday's class. So what I can do here is just to delete this one. I want to remove it. I will show you again how to go and build it from the scratch. Just remove it. Go to this label. Remove this label also. Or let me do one thing. Keep this label as it is. Keep this label. But I want to change the text of this label. Let me keep here the text of the label as the header I'm keeping here is new employee onboarding. New employee onboarding. New employee onboarding. So this is the text I'm keeping is. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to create an app for employee onboarding process. I'm going to create an app for the employee onboarding process, guys. Try to understand. See, if you want to recruit one new employee, first of all, we are going to conduct the interviews. Once the student is clearing all the interviews, now once after clearing the interviews, we'll do what? We'll go with the onboarding process. For employee onboarding process, I'm going to create one app now. Let me show you how to go and build it. So this is the text I'm keeping, and now I want to add one logo here. I want to add the company logo. Let me go and insert one control, that is image control. Let me add one control image. Let me go and keep it here, and let me add the image. Go and click on add an image file. Let me add the image. Select the image and click on open. Click on rename. Now see, the image is added. Just I'm adding one image in this case. Now this is the image I'm adding. So just I'm adding one logo, the company. Just fit it. Fine. Next, let me go and keep one home button here. Let me go and add one home button. Let me go to the insert tab and search for icon, home icon. Select this one, keep it here. Just zoom it and reduce the size and keep it here. Let me change the color. It is in the blue color right now. Let me change it to white. Go and change the color. Go and change the color to white. Also, I want to add another icon here. That is back icon, guys. I want to go back to the previous screen. So I want to keep one icon, back icon. Let me go to the insert tab and select for the back button. Search for an icon called back. Select this one and fit it here. Just keep it. Let me change the color. Keep the color to white. Now just I'm trying to build one header here, guys. This is the header I'm creating. Now let me go and create a form here. So I want to create one form in order to go and enter the new employee details, new employee onboarding. So I want to create one form here to enter the employee details, employee onboarding process form I want to create. So go to the insert tab and select the control as what? Edit form. Select the control edit form and keep the form here. Let me adjust the form into the screen. Just the form into the screen. Now let me go and connect to the data source. Into this form, what fields I want to display? I want to connect to the data source called employees list in the SharePoint. So how to connect to the data sources? On the left navigation in the app authoring pane, go to the add data. Already I'm connecting to the one of the data source, that is students. This is not the list I want to connect. Just remove it. Just go and remove this one. Then go and click on add data. Now search here for SharePoint. Search for the data source as SharePoint. Click on it. Select the data source as a SharePoint. Now see, already it is displaying the site name. What is the site name? Gallery is my site name. Select the site as gallery. Now in this site, I'm having one list. What's that list? Employees. Select the list and then click on connect. When I click on connect, now it is going to connect to the data source SharePoint. In the SharePoint, what is the list is connecting? Employees is the list. Now I want to connect the form to this data source. Now how to connect the form to this data source? Go to the tree view, select the form. The form has one property called data source. Currently it is none. Go and select the data source as what? Employees is the list. Select the data source. Now whenever I select the data source, now if you see, by default is going to create one form like structure. If you see, by default is creating one form like structure. Now there is one column here called attachments column. I want to remove this column attachments. Now how to remove the attachments column? Select the form, go to the fields, select the fields. Now scroll down. Here there is one column or a field called attachments. Just go and remove it. Click on these three dots and go and remove. Now, once after removing it, this is the fields I'm having in the form. We'll call it as a fields, or we'll call it as what? Data cards. We'll call it as a data cards. Now I want to do some formatting here, guys. I want to change the data card key and data card value formatting. I want to do, I want to increase the size, I want to change the font style, I want to change the font weight. So it is not possible for us to go for each and every data card and do the formatting, so it will take some lot of time. So what is the shortcut in order to go and do some formattings for the data card value and data card keys, data card keys and data card values? Select the form, select the form here and change the layout to horizontal, and then click on Control Z. When I click on Control Z, now if you see, from each and every data card, it is selecting what? Data card value and data card key controls. So from each and every data card is selecting the two controls. What the two controls it is selecting here is data card value and data card key controls. Now once after selecting this, now first I want to change the font style. I want to increase the font styles to 20. Let me keep it as 18. And next I want to increase the font weight. Let me keep it in the semi bold. And next, let me change the font style to Patrick. It's not looks good. So let me keep it as this. Let me go and keep it as open SEO. Now I'm doing some formatting here, guys. I'm changing the font size and the font weight. Now I'm doing some formatting here, guys. Now once after doing the formattings, let me go and add one background color for this form. Let me go and add one background color. Let me add the background color. Go to the fill property. This is the fill property. Go to the fill property. Let me keep some background color. This is the background color I'm keeping for the form. And next, let me add some border. There is no border for this form. Let me add some border also. Let me go and give the border to 3. Now see, I'm having some border. Now this is the form I am creating here, guys. Now this form is for what? This form is for to enter the new employee details, new employee onboarding. Now let me make the form mode as new. I said that the form has different modes. What are the different types of modes we have? New form. What is another mode? Edit form. And you can make the form as what? View form. So as we know that there are 3 modes of forms are available: new form, edit form, and view form. Now what's my requirement is I want to make this form as a new form, guys. So let me go to the mode property. Default mode by default is edit. Let me change it to new. Let me change the default mode to new. Now the form is in the new mode. Now this is the form I am creating and this is the screen I am building, guys. Now what is my requirement here is, now see, what's my first use case? What's my first use case is use case 1. Try to understand, guys, what I'm keeping here. If the form mode is new, if the form mode is new, then hide the manager name and project data cards in the form. If the form is equals to new, then I want to hide the manager name and also I want to hide the project data card in the form. So if you see, there are two fields is there. One is manager name and second one is what? Project. I want to hide these two data cards in the form. When I want to hide, if the form mode is equals to new. Now if the form mode is equals to new, why I need to go and hide these two? Why I need to go and hide the manager name? And why we need to go and hide the project here is because here it is the new employee onboarding process case. It is just for onboarding. We don't know that who is the manager for that employee. Once the employee is joined in the organization, then we are able to assign him as a manager. Once the employee is joined in the organization, then we are able to assign for him one project. So when the employee is joining for the first time, we don't know that who is the manager. We don't know that who is under which project he is going to work. So I want to hide these two fields in the form. When I want to hide these two fields, if the form mode is equals to new. Now how to hide these two fields? Now see, if you want to hide the two fields, first let me go and show you how to hide the manager name field or a data card. Select the field, a data card. Now first go and unlock the data card case. So if you want to change by default is not possible, first go to the advanced properties, go and unlock the data card. Once after unlocking the data card, this data card is having one property. What that property is? Visible property case. There is one property for this data card. What is that? Visible property. Go to the visible property. Now see, by default is true. I don't want to make it as true. When I want to make this data card as true, that means when I want to view this, if the form mode is equals to view, or if the form mode is equals to edit, then only I want to see this manager name data card. If the form mode is equals to new, then I don't want to show. So what I'm keeping here is just remove it. I'm going to use one if condition. If form1 dot mode, if the form1, what's the form1? This is the form1 guys. Now see, automatically when I keep here form1, it is highlighted green mark. Now if form1 dot mode is equals to new, is equals to form mode dot new, then I want to make it as false. If the form mode is equals to new, I want to make it as false. Otherwise I want to make it as true. False means I don't want to see this. True means I want to see it. Now see, when I go and keep this, automatically that manager data card, I'm not able to see it here. If you say I'm not able to see the manager data card. And next up, I want to hide this project data card also. Now how to hide this? Select the project data card. If you go to the visible property by default, if you see, if you go to the visible property, you are able to change. Better to go and unlock the data card. Better to go and unlock the data card. Select the project data card. Go to the visible property. By default is true, but I want to change it. When I want to make it as true, when I want to see this project data card is if form1 dot mode, if the form1 dot mode is equals to new form mode dot new, then I want to make it as false. False means I don't want to see it. Otherwise I want to make it as true. So now see, automatically I'm not able to view this data card. Which data card? Project data card. Now the form is in the which mode? Now the form is in the new mode. If the form is equals to new, now I am not able to view the manager data card and also the project data cards. This is what my first requirement. And also let me do one thing. Now the form is in the 3 columns case. Now the form is in how many columns? The form is in the 3 columns. Now I want to keep the form in the 2 columns. I want to keep the form in the 2 columns. Now how to change it? Select the form and go to the property called columns property. Currently it is 3. Let me change it to 2. Let me change the columns to 2. When I change the columns to 2, now see, automatically it is changed the columns to 2. And next, what is my requirement here is, let me do some formatting here guys. Let me reduce the size of this. I don't want to keep the employee number field this much lengthy. Let me reduce this one. And also let me reduce the mobile data card. I want to reduce the width, just reduce some width. Let me reduce the position also, reduce the position. Let me reduce the position width, and also let me reduce the salary width. I don't want to keep this much width, just reduce the width somewhat. Let me reduce the width for the date of birth also. Let me reduce it. For salary, I want to keep it as same. Email ID, I want to keep it as same. Hire date also, I want to reduce. For the hire date also, let me go and reduce the size. And now see, I want to rearrange the fields here, guys. So what is the first field I want to keep here is employee number. Second one is employee name. Third one is mobile number. Next one is email ID. And fourth one is position. And next here, I want to keep the salary. I want to keep the salary column here. And I want to bring this hire date to here. So let me rearrange it. I want to interchange the columns. How to interchange the fields in this form? Go to the fields. Now see, after the position, I want to keep what? Salary. After the position, I want to keep the salary. Or let me do one thing, keep the salary after the email and then keep the position. And next column is hire date. Once after the hire date column, let me bring this date of birth column to here after the hire date column. Now one after the hire date column, let me bring the date of birth column after the hire date. And then I want to bring the address column to here. After the date of birth, I want to bring the address column. So I'm just interchanging some columns here, guys. And now see, this address is a multi-line of text. If you see what is the data type for this address column is multi-line of text. So I want to insert the multiple lines. Address means multiple lines. So let me increase the height of this. Let me increase the height of this data code value. Fine. Let me keep it like this. Let me keep it as this. Just reduce some size. Fine. Let me keep it like this. And also let me reduce some height of the form. Fine. This is the form I'm creating here, guys. Try to understand. Just I'm doing some formatting. And also we done with first customization. What's the first customization we did here now? If the form mode is equals to new, then we are not able to see the manager name and the project data cards in the form. Now see, the form is in the new mode. The form is in the new mode. Now in this form, I'm able to see the manager name. No. I'm able to see the project. No. This is what my first requirement. And next, what is my second use case? Now try to understand in the second use case, what's my first condition is add a button to submit the form to the data source. First of all, go and add a submit button to submit the data to the data sources. So let me go and add one button. Let me go to the insert tab, go and add one button, keep the button in the bottom, just increase some size, increase some width. And let me change the text. Default text is button. Let me change it to submit. Let me change it to what? Submit. Now once after changing the text, now I want to submit the data to the data sources. Now how to submit the data to the data sources? Whatever the data I'm entering in the form, I want to submit this data to the data sources by clicking on the submit button. Now how to submit the data to the data sources? When I click on the submit button, what you need to go and do? What is the function you need to go and use in order to go and submit this data to the data sources?
Submit
Someone,
form.
yes, select this, go and use the submit form. So select the button, go to the on select property, go to the property called on select, go to the property called on select. By default is false. Let me change it to, I want to do what? On select of this button, submit form. Which form I want to submit? I want to submit the form 1. Now when I go and once after entering the data in the form, now when I go and click on the submit button, it is going to submit the data to the data sources. And next, what's my requirement here is display the submit button when all the required fields filled in the form. Now see, by default, without entering the data, when I go and click on the submit button, it will allows us me to submit the data. But I don't want to allow the user directly to go and click on the submit button, guys. When I want to allow the user to submit the data means display the submit button when I want display when all the required are filled in the form. In the form, there is one required field. What is that? Employee number. So once the user is filling all the required fields in the form, then only I want to make this submit button as enabled. Otherwise, I want to make it as disabled. So this is what my next requirement is. So for now, Even though if I'm not entering the required field, if I go on, it will allow us to submit the data. I don't want to allow it to submit to the data. When I want to allow the user to click on the submit button or to submit the data to the data sources means whenever he is entering all the required fields in the form, then only I want to make this button as enable and allow the user to submit the data. Now how to go and perform this? So I want to make this button as enabled once the user is filling all the mandatory fields. So select the button. Button will have one property called display mode. Button is having one property called submit button will have one property called display mode. Select the display mode. By default, it is edit. By default, the mode is what? Edit mode. Now I want to change it. Now what's my requirement here is if form1 dot valid, already we used this in this functions guys, already we used this functions in the previous classes in the form validations. Now if form1 is valid, then only I want to make this button as enabled guys. So if form1 dot mode, if form1 dot valid, then I want to make this one as display mode dot edit. Otherwise I want to make it as display mode dot disabled. This is what my requirement. Simple. Nothing is there guys. If the form is valid, when the form is valid, if you are entering all the required fields, then only the form is valid. If the form is valid, then only make the button as edit. Otherwise go and make the button as disabled. Now see, I am not entering the mandatory field. Now when I go and try to submit the click on the submit button, it is not allowing me. Here I'm trying to clicking on submit button guys, it is not allows us, it is disabled. When this button is enabled, whenever if you enter the mandatory fields, whenever if you are entering the mandatory fields, then now see automatically this button is enabled. Now I can go and click on the submit button in order to go and submit the data. So what is this requirement here is, once if I am entering all the required fields, then only this submit button need to allow the user to submit the data. If you are not entering the mandatory fields, then this submit button has to be disabled. So if without entering the mandatory fields, if the user is trying to click on the submit button, it doesn't allow us, it doesn't allow the users to submit the data. So this is the another use case guys. So this is the use case we are performing on the button called submit button. And next third use case is create another screen named success. I want to create another screen. I want to keep that screen name as success screen guys, named as success screen, to navigate the user once the record is submitted successfully. Now see, once the record is submitted successfully, once if I click on the submit button, if the record is submitted successfully to the data sources, I want to navigate the user to success screen guys. So let me go and create one new screen. Currently I'm having only one screen here. Let me keep this screen name as form screen. Let me rename this screen name as form screen. Let me keep it as form screen. Let me go and add one new screen, that is success screen guys. So let me go to the templates. There is one default template that is success screen. Let me add this. Click on this. Let me rename it to success screen. Let me rename it to what? Success screen. Fine. Now this is the screen I'm adding guys. Now see, once if I click on the submit button, let us say I'm entering the mandatory field. I'm entering the mandatory field. Now if I'm entering the mandatory field, now the submit button will allow the users to submit the data. Now when I go and click on the submit button, if the data is submitted successfully to the data sources, then I want to navigate the user to the success screen guys. Then I want to navigate the user to which screen? Success screen. This is my success screen. Now how to navigate the user to the success screen once the record is submitted? Now see, already on the submit button, on success property, if you go to the on select property, select the submit button, go to the on select property. In the on select property, I am submitting the form. Once after submitting the form successfully to the data source, I want to navigate to the success screen. Now tell me where I can go and use the navigate function. It is better to go and use the navigate function to navigate to success screen on the on select property of the button or somewhere else, where we can go and keep the on select property?
Somewhere
On
else.
success of form.
On the success of form.
On success, correct. On success of the form. Now see, if you go and keep the navigate function on the submit button, what happens means already we know that instead of going and checking whether the form is submitted successfully or not, simply it will navigate you to the success screen. So when I want to navigate the success screen means once the form is submitted successfully to the data source, then only I want to navigate to success screen. So instead of going and use the navigate function here on the on select property of the button, select the form. The form has one property here, on success. Go to the on success property, by default is false. Now here let me go and use the navigate function, guys. On success, once the form is successfully submitted, then only I want to navigate to success screen. So go and use the navigate function. Navigate to which screen I want to navigate? Success screen. Once after navigating to the success screen, I want to give a notification to the user that what is the notification is the form is submitted successfully. Now how to give some notifications? What function we need to go and use? Notify function. Notify. What I want to notify? What's the text I want to keep here is the form has been submitted successfully. The form has been submitted successfully. Next, what is the notification type? The notification type is error. The notification type is information, success, or warning. I want to keep the notification type as a success message. Once the form is submitted successfully, then only I want to give this notification. So just close it. Now save the app. Now save it. Now once if I enter the employee details, once after entering the employee details, when I go and click on the submit button, now it will submit the data to the data sources. Once after submitting to the data sources, it will navigate me to the success screen. Once after navigating to the success screen, it will give one notification to me. That notification is what? The form has been submitted successfully. Let me go and enter some data, guys. Now see, if I'm not entering the mandatory fields, by default the submit button is disabled. We are not able to select the submit button. So let me go and enter some data. Employee ideas. Let's say I'm keeping the employee ideas AB1234. Let me keep the employee name as Warner. Let me keep the mobile number. Let me keep some random mobile number. Let me keep some email ID. Let me keep here salary, whatever the salary it is. And what is the position of that employee? Let me keep the position as system engineer. And what is the joining date, hire date? Let me select any one of the date, guys. Let us say, let me select any one of the date. And date of birth, let me go and select any one of the date of birth. Let me select any one of the date of birth, whatever the date is, guys. Randomly you can go and pass. Now pass the address. Let's say I'm passing the address as Hyderabad is the address. Now once after passing all the details, once after entering the employee details, now go and click on what? Submit. When I click on the submit, it will submit the data to the data sources. Once the data is submitted, then only it will navigate to the success screen. Now see, when I click on the submit button, now see the record is submitted successfully and it is navigating to which screen? Success screen. This has been successfully completed and it is giving one notification. What's that notification? The form has been submitted successfully. So this is what the requirement I'm performing here, guys. And next, what is my another requirement in this third use case? First one is navigate to the success screen, and next one is what? Display the last submitted record in the success screen. Whatever the record you submitted recently, that record I want to display in the success screen. Now how to display it? These things also I discussed. How to display? Here I want to display the last submitted employee ID. Let's say I want to display the last whatever the employee details I'm submitting, that employee ID I want to display here. Now how to display it? Just go and add one control, text control, keep it here. Just increase some size. Now go to this text property, just remove it. Now I'm going to use one function here. What is that function? Last submitted, form1 dot form1 dot last submitted. From that last submitted, what I want to select? From the last submitted, I want to select the employee number. Whatever the record we submitted recently, that employee number I want to select. So let me keep it in the align it to center. Let me keep it in the semi bold and let me increase some size. Now see, this is the record I submitted recently. Let me check whether it is working properly or not. Now go to the form screen. Go to the form screen and make the form as a new form. Go and change the form mode, new form, save it and play. Now see, I'm entering the employee number AB 4569 or 8. Let me keep it in the caps. Next, what is the employee name? Let me keep the employee name as Smith. What is the mobile number? Let me keep the mobile number as the mobile number. Next, email ID. Let me keep some random email, I guess. smith@gmail.com. Next, salary. Let me keep 14,000 is a salary. Next, what's the position? Technical support. What is the joining date? Let me select any one of the date. What is the date of birth? Let me select any one of the date of birth. And what is the address? Let me keep the address as Bangalore and click on the submit button. Once after entering the data, go and click on the submit button. Once if I click on the submit button, now the record is submitted successfully and is navigating to the success screen. In the success screen, now see I'm able to display the last submitted record. What's the record just now we submitted? Which employee details? It is the employee details we submitted. And also it is giving one notification. What's that notification? The form has been submitted successfully to the data sources. This is what how to go and navigate from form screen to the success screen. Once after navigating to the success screen, how to go and display the last submitted record. And next, what is my another use case? Use case 4. Now see, in this use case, what is my first requirement here is create another screen to show the data in the gallery. Now see, with the help of form, just now I submitted 2 employee details. Just now I submitted how many employee details? 2 employee details into the SharePoint. If you see, if you go to the SharePoint, if I go and click on refresh, now I'm having those 2 employee details in the SharePoint now. Now, whatever the data I'm having in the SharePoint, I want to display or I want to view this data in the Power Apps. Now tell me which control we need to go and use in order to go and display the data in the Power Apps. Whatever the data I'm having the data source, I want to display that data in the Power Apps. Now, which control we need to go and use to display the data in the Power Apps?
Gallery control.
Gallery control.
Gallery. Yes, gallery control. Now, let me go and add one new screen. Let me go and add one new screen. Let me change the screen name to gallery screen. Change it to gallery screen. And I want to keep this screen as a first screen. So I want to move to the top. Let me move the screen to top. So select these 3 dots, 3 ellipses. Click on move up. Again, select these 3 ellipses. Click on move up. Now this is my first screen, guys. Gallery screen. Second screen is what? Form screen. And third one is what? Success screen. These are the 3 screens. Now go to the gallery screen. Now what he is telling here is create another screen to display the data in the gallery. So this is the screen I am using. Now in this screen I want to first let me go and keep some header here, guys. I want to keep some header. Let me go and insert the text label. Just try to create some header here. Let me keep it in semi bold or bold. Align it to center. Increase the font size to 24. And let me change the font color to white, font background color to something like orange. Now see, this is the text I'm keeping. Now let me go and change the text. Default it is text. I want to keep it as new employee onboarding process. Employee onboarding process. So I'm keeping some text here, that is employee onboarding process. Now here in this screen, now I want to go and add one gallery. In that gallery, whatever the data is submitted to the data source with the help of this form, whatever the data I'm submitting to the data sources, I want to display this data in this gallery. So first let me go and insert the control called gallery control. Let me select the vertical gallery. Let me go and select the control vertical gallery. Let me keep that gallery here. Let me go and keep it anywhere. If you want to keep in the screen, I want to keep it here. Just reduce some size. Now I want to show the data in this gallery. What did I want to show? the data that is storing in this employees list. Now how to go and connect to that list? Select the gallery. Gallery is having one property called data source. Go to the data source, select the list name as what? Employees. Now see, whenever I select, currently how many employee details is there in this list now? 2. So those 2 employees details I'm able to show it here. The first one is Warner, second one is what? Smith. Now see, I want to change the layout of this gallery, guys. So I don't have the employee images here. I don't want to keep this control image control. So I want to change the layout. Go to the layout property and change it to title, subtitle and body. Change it to title, subtitle and body. Select this control or select this layout. And now see, by default, it is showing what is the controls values. What values it is showing here? It is showing the employee ID, employee name and a mobile number. Now what I want to do here is, let me increase some font height, font weight here, guys. Now I want to edit the gallery. I want to do some modifications. If you want to edit the gallery, go and click on what? Click on this icon, edit gallery icon. Click on it, edit gallery. Now it is going to select the first item in the gallery or a record in the gallery. Now select the ID control, select the ID of the employee. Now by default it is 14. Let me change it to 18. And then let me go and select the name. It is 12. Let me keep it as 14 or let me keep it as 16. And next, here it is. Then third one is mobile number. Here by default is displaying the mobile number. I don't want to show the mobile number here. I want to display the job. What is the job the employee is doing? So how to change it? You can change the value from here or select the gallery. Gallery have some fields. Go to the fields. Here where I am showing the mobile in the body. So in the body it is displaying the mobile. You can select this drop down. You can select the column, which value you want to show. I want to show the job. So you can find here the job column. It is, I think it is not job. I think it is a position, right? The column name is position. Let me go and search for position. Yes, I'm having here. You can select from here or otherwise select this control, go here, remove this mobile, this item dot position dot value. Why we need to go and keep here dot value means position is a choice column. If it is choice column, we need to keep it as a value here. Now see, automatically it is displaying what? It is displaying the job of that employee. And now what I want to do here is I want to increase some size here. First select the gallery, increase the template height, just somewhat increase the template height and keep it in the bottom. Let me keep it as 14 and also select this one. Just align it properly. Just I'm doing some formatting. Now see here guys, this is the form I'm having. This is the form I'm creating. Gallery I'm creating here. In this gallery I'm displaying the data. And what I can do here is let me go and add some background color. It doesn't looks. Let me add some background color for this. Let me keep this background color. And also let me add some border. Let me keep the border as 3. Now this is the gallery I'm having here guys. Let me increase some size. Let me keep it here. Just click on refresh, save it. It is not applied. Let me do one thing, publish it, and let me go here, change it to 18, keep it in the bold and change it to semi bold. Select the Warner, change it to bold and change it to again semi bold. Select the job. Fine, now it is applied. Now this is the data I'm showing here guys. Better to increase the font size for this employee name also. Let me keep it as 18. Let me keep it as 20. Now it looks somewhat better. Let me increase some size here. Fine, it looks good now. Now this is the gallery I'm showing here guys. In the gallery what I'm displaying? I'm displaying some data, whatever the data that is stored in the data sources. Now along with this gallery, now what is my second requirement here is I want to keep one button here. I want to keep one button. What is the name of that button is new employee. Whenever the new employee is joined, when I go and click on this button, it need to go and open the form. When I click on this button here, it need to go and open the form, guys. It need to go to the form, and I want to make this form as a new form. And I want to make this form as what? New form. Let me go to the gallery. Let me add one button here. Let me go and add one button. Keep the button here. Let me change the button text. Change the button text to new employee. And let me increase some size. Let me increase the width. And also let me increase some width height. And keep it here. And let me change some background color. Now see, I'm creating one button here that is new employee. Now whenever I click on this new employee button, it need to go and open the form in new mode, guys. Let me increase some size here. Let me keep it as 18. And also let me do one thing. Let me increase some width. Fine. Now when I click on this button, what need to happen? It need to go to the form screen, and I want to make the form as what? New form. So it is new employee. New employee details I want to insert. New employee onboarding. So select this button. Now go to the on select property. Go to the on select property. Now first what I want to do here is, first of all, I want to reset the form. First I want to, if there is any data, first I want to reset the form. Which form I want to reset? Form 1. I want to reset the form. Which form? Form 1. Once after resetting the form, I want to make the form as a new form, guys. I want to make the form as new form. Which form I want to make it as a new form? Form 1. I want to make it as form 1. Once after making it as a form 1, then I want to navigate. I want to navigate to which screen? I want to navigate to the form screen. I want to navigate to which screen? Form screen. So what actions I am doing on this? What are the actions I am performing on this button here is, where it is, on this button, employee, new employee. First, I am going to reset the button. Once after reset, make the form as a new form, and then go and navigate to the form screen. Now see, when I go and save it, when I go and click on the play button, now when I go and click on this new employee, it is navigating to the form screen, and it is making the form as what form? It is making the form as a new form. Now if the form is equals to new, as we know that we are not able to view the submit button. Now let me go and enter some one more employee details case. Employee ID is the employee ID. Let me keep the employee name. Whatever the employee name. Let me keep some random mobile number. Let me keep the email. Let me keep some salary. Let me keep the position as associate engineer. Select the hire date. Select the date of birth and enter the address. Let me enter some address here. Let me keep it as Hyderabad. Let me keep it as Hyderabad. Now once after entering the data, now go and click on what? Submit button. Once if I click on the submit button, it will navigate to the success screen. Here I am able to display here what is the newly submitted employee details, and is giving one form, one message as form has been submitted successfully. Now once after navigating here I want to keep one home button, guys. So when I click on the home button, it need to navigate to which screen? It need to navigate to the gallery screen. So let me go to the success screen. Here I want to keep one button that is home button. Let me go and add one button that is home. Now on select of this button, what need to happen? Go to the form, go to the first screen. What's my first screen? Gallery. Now on select of this button, I want to navigate to which screen? I want to navigate to the gallery screen. Now let me go and save it and play. Now once the record is submitted, now go and click on the home button. It will navigate to the gallery screen. Now see, this is the newly record submitted. Scott is the new employee details just now I submitted. Like this, if you want to go and this is the employee onboarding form or app I am creating is. When I click on the new employee, it is going to open the form in the new mode. Now I can go and enter the employee details. What is the employee number I want to keep? what is the employee number, what is the name, what is the name I want to keep for the what is the name of that employee, what's the mobile number, whatever the mobile number it is. Let me insert myself, Pinky, my email ID, my salary. Let me keep it as 20,000. Let me keep the position as team lead. Let me select the hire date, whatever the date it is. Let me select the date of birth, whatever the date it is, and keep the address, whatever the address you want to keep. Once after passing the details, click on the submit button. Once if I click on the submit button, it will navigate to the success screen. You are able to see which employee details you submitted recently. Now go and click on the home button. When I click on the home button, it will navigate to the first screen, that is gallery screen. In the gallery screen, you are able to see what's the newly submitted record. This is the new record I submitted. Once if you submit the record, automatically we're able to see this data in the gallery. So now see, once if I go and click on the new employee, it will navigate to the form screen. Now in the form screen, there are two buttons is there. One is back button, second is home button. Now see, when I go and click on this back button, it is not performing anything now. Now on select of this back button, I want to go back to the previous screen. What is the previous screen to the form screen? Gallery. I want to go back. So if you want to go back, select the button here, back button, go to the on select property. It is false by default. So I want on select of this button, I want to navigate. I want to navigate to which screen? I want to navigate to the gallery screen. And here also, when I go and select the home button also, I want to navigate to which screen? I want to navigate to the gallery screen. I want to navigate to where? Gallery screen. Now, if you are in the form screen, now if I go and click on the back button, it will navigate to the, go back to the previous screen. What is the previous screen? Go back means this is the first screen, gallery screen. So this is what I am doing here. Now see, still now with the help of navigation buttons, I'm able to navigate to one screen to another screen, guys. From here, I'm able to navigate from screen 1 to gallery screen 2. When I click on this, navigate to screen 2. When I click on the submit button, it will navigate to the success screen. Still now, I am not connecting this gallery to the form. Now, how to go and connect the galleries to the form? How to go and connect this gallery to this form? Now, how to go and connect the galleries to the form means, what's my requirement here is? Now see, what's my next use case is, display the complete details of an item that is selected in the gallery. Now see, in the gallery, I'm able to display only employee number, employee name, and what is the job he is doing. But I'm not able to see the complete details of the employee. Now, if I want to see the complete details of this employee, now I want to select this button. There is one icon here, right? There is one right arrow. So I want to select this icon, right arrow. Now on select of this icon, I want to go and view the complete details of the employee. On select of this icon, right arrow icon, whenever I select any item in the gallery, on this right arrow icon, I want to display the complete all the details of that employee in the form. Now how to go and display it? That means I want to connect this gallery to the form. So how to go and connect the gallery to the form means, first of all, on select of this right arrow, I want to go to the form screen. And what I want to do, I want to view the data. I want to view this complete employee details in the form. So select this button, right arrow button, go to the on select property. By default is select parent. And next, let me keep here. I want to make the form as a view form. Which form I want to make it as a view form? Form 1. I want to make the form as a view form, that is form 1. Once after making the form as a new form, I want to navigate to the form screen. First go and make the form as view, and next go and navigate. Let me keep here semicolon, and next go and navigate. I want to navigate to which screen? I want to navigate to form screen. So on select of this button, first to make the form as a view form and then navigate to the form screen. Now save it and then go and click on play. Now see here guys, whenever I select this item, in this right arrow, that means I want to navigate to the form screen and I want to view this complete details of this employee. So just select this one. Now when I select this, I'm able to navigate to the form screen, but I'm not able to see the data. Why you are not able to see the data means in the gallery, just I am telling that on select of this button, make the form as a view form and then navigate. But I'm not telling to the Power Apps, go and display this complete employee details in the form. So how to go and perform it means, go to the form once after keeping these two functions in this button or right arrow, go to the form screen, select the form, and the form has one property called item. Form has one property called item property. Go to the item property. By default, it is nothing. Now, what I want to keep here is gallery one. What is the name of this gallery means? If you see, the name of this gallery is gallery one. So whatever the item I am going to select in the gallery, that item I want display in this form. Gallery one dot selected. Gallery one dot selected. Whatever the item I'm going to select in the gallery, that item details I want to display in the form. Now see, whenever I enter this function here, it is displaying the complete details of those employees. It is displaying the complete details of that employee. Now save it, go to the gallery screen, now play. Now here I'm connecting the gallery to the form, guys. Now I want to view this complete details of the employee. If you want to view this complete employee details, now go and click on this right arrow. When I click on this right arrow, it will navigate to the form screen and you are able to view the details of those employees, guys. Now see, I'm able to view the employees details. What is them? I'm able to view, I'm able to view here. What is the employee number? Name is Warner, mobile number, email, salary, position, hire date, date of birth, address. And you are able to see two more fields here. What are those two more fields? Manager name and a project. I said that when I don't want to see these two fields when, if this form is new. Now the form is not in view. Now the form is in which mode? The form is in the view mode. So I'm able to see this two data cards. So I'm able to see the complete details of the employee Warner. If I go back, now see if I go and select the second record, second item in the gallery, Smith. Now when I select this, now I'm able to display the complete details of the Smith employee. Guess what is the employee number, name, mobile number, email, salary, position, date of birth, hire date, so address, now manager name and a project ID, project name. These two are nothing for still I am not assigning any manager and project for that employee. So like this, we are able to connect the gallery to the forms. To connect the gallery to the forms, what I'm doing here, simple. Go to this button, on select of this button, make the form as a view form and navigate to the form screen. Once after keeping these two functions within this right arrow, now go to the form, select the form. In the form, go to the property called, select the form. Form has one property, item property. Go to the item property. Here you can keep here as gallery one dot selected. Whatever the item you are selecting in the gallery, that item details I want to go and display in this form. So this is what how to go and connect the galleries to the forms. This is what how to go and connect the galleries to the forms. And now see here, when I go and select any one of the employees details in the gallery, let us say I'm selecting the Scott employee details. When I click on this right arrow, I'm able to view all the details of that employee. Now see, if the form is in the view mode, then what is the need of showing the submit button? Now the form is in view, just I'm able to view it. If the form is in view mode, then what is the need of showing the submit button? No need. When I want to show the submit button, if the form is in the new mode, or if the form is in the edit mode, then only I want to show the submit button. If the form is in the view mode, then what is the need of showing the submit button? No need. So I want to hide this button. When I want to hide, if the form is equals to view, then I want to hide. So go and select the button. I want to hide it. So select the button. There is one property for this button, that is visible property. Go to the visible property. Go to the visible property. By default, it is true, but I want to change it. Form1 dot mode is not equals to form mode dot view. If this form mode is not equals to view, then only I want to say. If the form mode is equals to view, I don't want to show it. If the form mode is not equals to view, then I don't want to show it, guys. When I don't want to show this button is, if the form mode is in the view, then I don't want to show this button. When I want to show this, if the form mode is either new, or if the form mode is either edit, then only I want to show the submit button. Now see, I'm not able to see the submit button here. Now just go on play. I'm not able to see. Now go to the back. Now when I select the Warner employee details, now the form is in the view mode. I'm able to see the complete details of that employee. Now I'm not able to see the submit button. But when I can see the submit button is, when I go and click on this new employee, now I'm going to make the form as a new form. Now the form is in the new mode. If the form is equals to new, then I want to display the submit button. I don't want to display the submit button when, if this form is in the view mode. When the form is in the view mode, if I go and select any one of the item in the gallery, then this form is in the view mode. If the form is in the view mode, then I don't want to show the submit button. So this is how to go and connect to the galleries case. Already discussed about how to go and connect to the galleries. And one more customization we did here is what? This is the sixth use case. If the form mode is equals to view, then submit button is not visible. So back button, forms can go back. Already we discussed this. So these are the different types of customizations we are performing, and how to go and connect the gallery items to the form. So in today's session, we discussed how to go and connect the galleries to the forms. We created one form here, and then we created a gallery here. I'm having one success screen here. So we discussed how to go and make the connections to the galleries and to the forms. And there are a few more customizations where we need to go and perform. I will discuss those in the tomorrow's class. What customizations I'm going to discuss in tomorrow's class is, if I see, when I go and click on this Warner employee details, now I'm able to view the data. Now what's my requirement here is, I want to edit the data. Now see, when I try to edit the data, I'm not able to edit it. Why? Because the form is in the view mode. So to edit the data, I want to keep one button here. I want to keep a button. The button is edit button. I want to keep one button here, edit. When I click on this edit button, I want to make this form as an edit form. Then I want to do some modifications in the form. I want to edit the form, and then again go and click on the submit button. So how to go and do few more customizations in this, we'll be discussing it in the tomorrow's class. So in today's session, we discussed about how to connect the galleries to the forms. Fine. Let me stop here.